The price is too high. That's what your client's telling you. What do? Join me on this episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily to find out. Hi, it's Dave Lorenzo. Welcome to another edition of the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Today, we're tackling the number one objection in sales. The price is too high. I know, you hear it all the time. You shouldn't, and we're going to tell you how to prevent it. But when it does happen, we're also going to tell you how you can fix it immediately. Before we get to that, I want to remind you that if you like what you hear today on the Dave Lorenzo Daily, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And also subscribe. You'll see a link down at the bottom, a little box that says subscribe. Be sure and subscribe. We post a new video every day, and it's designed to help you grow your revenue, connect with affluent clients, sell in a B2B setting, set your sales strategy, and if you're a sales leader, you'll find great videos here to motivate and energize your team, as well as how to prevent the biggest mistakes sales leaders make. I want you to join me every day, so be sure and subscribe and ring the bell up at the top of the YouTube channel so you get notifications every day when we post a new video. So, the price is too high. What do you do to combat this objection? Well, first, you have to understand that the client is here to solve a problem. You got to realize what problem the client is originally trying to solve and bring them back to that problem. That's how you demonstrate value. If you're selling just on price, you're playing a losing game. You're taking a ride on a razor blade and it doesn't lead to any place good. It only is going to leave you bloody on the floor with the client moving to someone else because you never want to be the lowest price provider. Anyone can sell a product or service by offering the lowest price in the market. They don't need you, a skilled entrepreneur, a skilled sales leader, to do it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on the problem the client is trying to solve and bring the discussion back to that. What problem are you trying to solve, Mr. Client? What problem are you focused on? Then I want you to ask them how long they've had this problem. You need to focus them on exactly how much this problem is costing them. This problem is a huge issue for you. Solving it saves you all of this money. That makes your price irrelevant. The money they will save over the long term by using your product, by using your service, should be their focus. You've got to bring them back to that. So, focus them on what the problem is, focus them on how much the problem is costing them, and focus them on the value of solving the problem. The third thing is you have to help them realize the impact on them personally. How is this issue killing their career? Mr. Client, this issue is a thorn in your side. It's keeping you from getting promoted. Mr. Client, this issue is such a huge problem for you, it's going to be a barrier to you getting that big project you want to get done now. That's the way to create urgency, and it's also the way to remove the focus from the price. The problem is causing you pain. It's causing you pain right now. We've got to get rid of it right now. The urgency helps to overcome the price objection. If your client is comparing you to someone else, I want you to demonstrate to them how this is an apples to oranges comparison. This is a comparison they shouldn't be making. Demonstrate all of the value you're providing and explain to them how the competitor's product, the competitor's service, provides nowhere near that value, so there really is no comparison. If you have unique features to your product or to your service, show them the value those features provide and compare those features to what the competition is providing. It's nowhere near the same. Apples to oranges comparisons also help to thwart the objection of the price is too high. The fifth thing I want you to focus on is the value of the relationship you have with your client. The value of the relationship you have with your client is paramount. You've delivered value in advance. You've introduced them to someone who's done business with them. You've connected them with someone who's helped them solve a problem or achieve a goal. So you've already delivered value. When you look at them and you say, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, you're not just buying a product, you're not just buying a service, you're investing in a relationship with me. And you know the value that I'm going to provide you over the long term because I've already demonstrated it before we've done anything together. I've already demonstrated value to you. That relationship is incomparable. They cannot compare that relationship with anybody else because nobody else is out there doing it. You're a relationship-based sales professional. You're a relationship-based entrepreneur. You're focused on the long term. That helps differentiate you, and there's no price tag that can be put on that. I want you to also, as point number 6, I want you to review the price that you're asking for over a period of time. So take a product or a service that costs $1,500 a year. That's $4.10 a day. $1,500 a year is $4.10 a day. That's less than the cost of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. When you break down the investment that a client will have to make over a longer period of time, even if they're making that investment up front, what you're doing is you're showing them that on a per day basis, the price really isn't that big a deal. Breaking the price down in smaller increments is another way to help thwart that objection. I prefer that you don't have to go there, but if you do, showing it in smaller increments makes it a little bit more palatable for them to view the price. Number 7 is the last ditch effort. Number 7 is the last thing I want you to do. If there's no other way to overcome the price objection, never, ever just lower your price. Can't do it. You lose all credibility when you do that. People will nail you every time on your price. You'll never get what you want as fair value for your product or service. Instead, remove something of value if the client asks you to lower the price. Find a way to take away a feature, find a way to give them a modified version of the product or service, but never just lower your price because you're going to be leveraged every time then. You have to find a way to remove value in order to offer some type of a discount, and if you can't do that, you got to walk away. Honestly, the best thing to do is to use the tactics that I've given you up front to address the issue. I want you to do this. I want you to bring them back to the original problem and demonstrate what the cost of the original problem is. Focus them on that instead of how much your product or your service costs. The second thing I want you to do is talk about how long they've had the problem and show them the value of solving it now. Create urgency. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to help them see how this is impacting them personally. It makes it emotional. It makes an emotional connection for them. And I want them to see that if they don't solve this problem, their career's going nowhere. You're the ticket to the future for them. That's what I want them to see in you. The fourth thing is if they're comparing you to others, it's apples and oranges. You can't compare me to anybody else. It just doesn't work. Here are the reasons why. The fifth thing is talk about the value of your relationship. How much is my relationship worth with you, Mr. Client? How much is it worth to you to be in business with me? I've already delivered value to you. Now we're going to be in business together. I'm going to deliver even more value. Then break the price down over time. That's number 6. Break it down into smaller increments so that they see that it's not really that big a deal. And then finally, if you have no other choice, remove value in order to get the business in the door. That's the last ditch effort if you have nothing else to do. Now, these are the ways you overcome the objection that the price is too high. I want you focused on value right from the beginning. And if you do, and you've done this appropriately from the outset, you will never have to worry about hearing this objection again. My name is Dave Lorenzo, and we're here every day on the Dave Lorenzo Daily. I want you to join me right back here again tomorrow for another edition of the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Until then, I hope you do this and sell more.